Hello and welcome to live market analysis using supply and demand with myself, Simon Klein. It's July the 15th, and we have a very special guest today as well, who's going to be joining us later on, Jane. And she's going to be sharing with you how she trades and how she makes a day's living, really, or even more than a day's living, trading less than an hour a day, even with a full-time job. So she's going to share with you what she learned and how she applies it on a day-to-day basis. So welcome everybody. Just let me know in the chat area that you can see me, you can see the screen, and you can hear me loud and clear. Hi, Peter. I have privatized the chat so only we can see it. We will put it on at the end so everyone can see everyone's questions, but I want you to focus on this presentation. For those of you who are here for the first time, just type a yes in the chat area. If you're here for the first time, you've never been to this presentation before. Actually, let me just, maybe I should do a poll of how many people are here for the first time and never seen anything. Because again, you're going to learn something new if this is your 7th or 8th time. I know we've had people, I run this webinar it's a live webinar, obviously, apart from if you're watching the replay, because we're looking at the live market. Hi, Larry. Hi, John. Hi, Boket. Hi, Jim. And hi, Lawrence. And we have people here from literally all over the world. And so welcome, everybody. We're going to start now. This is a life-changing presentation. Again, if you haven't achieved any level of success with your trading up to now, or you're just starting out, this is the best training out there to help you get started in the right way. And you'll see as you go through the presentation, it makes sense. Maybe for the first time, you can make sense of the charts and understand what's going on. Hi, Mario. Okay, great. So let's begin. And I want to say, because of this whole global pandemic that we're going through at the moment, that's my wife and my brother-in-law. They both work in the hospital, and they've worked every single day during this pandemic. So I want to say thank you to both of them, and especially for my wife for supporting me all through the beginning years as a trader and always through now. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her love and support through the journey, especially the beginning. So thank you. Here's a picture of me giving this presentation at the New York Traders Expo. And I gave it to a full room of traders. And you're going to hear the question I asked them. I'm going to ask you the same question and see how you do against how these traders in New York at the New York Traders Expo did. Quick disclaimer, all comments I make here are for educational purposes only. You all know there's a high degree of risk involved in all types of trading, and we're not responsible for your trading and investment results. And again, if you hear certain trading ideas during this presentation, you take them at your own risk. Okay, so here's a little bit about me. And 1 second. Okay, you can read it, but just to tell you, for all those people who are here for the first time, TradeSmart is a trading education business. And we focus primarily on teaching you how to read the market professionally and how to run a successful trading business, which includes how to develop your own trading plan and strategies which fit your personality and lifestyle. I started my professional life at Credit Suisse in '96 after graduating from University College London, and I've been trading for many years now. So let's have a look at our agenda. I'm going to switch my webcam off so you can focus on the presentation now. We're going to cover why am I always wrong. We're going to go into professional chart reading. This is you won't find in any book. And we're going to go over supply and demand. I'm going to teach you something about supply and demand so you can look at it in a different way than what you've probably looked at up to now. And then we'll jump into the live market. I'm going to do that briefer than I usually do. And then I'm going to pass you over to Jane. Jane's one of my top traders. She started with me in 2018. And has reached a level of consistency that very few reach. And she's going to share with you how she did it, what she does nowadays, and how she actually trades on a day-to-day basis. She's actually going to replay the market from, I think, yesterday and show you exactly the trades that she took and why she took them, so you can kind of follow along and gain an insight in how this methodology works. And then we'll open up for audience questions and answers. And also I'll share with you how you can take the next step. There's an offer. I'm being completely transparent. It's for your own good if this is for you, and you can come on board with us and join our trading room and do stage 1 of the training. Okay, so here's the first problem. I'll turn my webcam on again. Okay, let's turn it off again. Okay. why am I always wrong? Okay, so the market looks something like this. And you learn a little bit about trading. Maybe you learn about moving averages and you see, you know, the price is going above a moving average. So it's in an uptrend according to that definition. And you decide, okay, I'm going to take my first trade, and you take your first trade over here. And you don't know too much about risk management. You just took a few lots on it, and the market goes up in your favor and you're up a little bit and you're thinking, great, I can give up my day job. I've got security now. And all of a sudden the market takes a turn for the downside, down, 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 down. And before you know it, you're in a big loss and you don't want to take the loss, but it gets to a point where you've got no choice because it's a big number on the screen, big negative number. And you're like, get me out of this trade. And you hit the sell button. Now you want to get that money back. You just lost a couple of $1,000 or something. And on your $10,000 account, maybe you're starting with, and that's pretty bad. So first trade, not good. And you double up on the short side and you take your second trade on the short side. It starts to go in your favor. You think, great, I'm making it back, making it back. All of a sudden the market turns to the upside and you take your second rather large loss. And this is not good. So now what you do is you decide to get in the market again. Obviously it's going up, it's an uptrend, and you buy again. And all of a sudden the market takes a turn to the downside and you take your third losing trade. Does anyone relate to that? So what happens now is this: you take a step back and you think, I'm doing this all backwards. I seem to be buying up here and selling down there. I learned something about support and resistance. Should be selling up here. So you take your fourth trade over here on the sell side thinking, and you go all out. You're going to make all that money back because obviously every time you buy up here, it goes down. So you now sell thinking it's going to go down, and all of a sudden the market continues going up. And you take your fourth losing trade, you scratch your head, you don't know what you're going to tell your other half, and this is like a disaster. You've blown out your whole account, and it's like, what am I doing? I don't understand. Everything I'm doing, I seem to be on the wrong side of the market. Every time I buy, it goes down. Every time I sell, it goes up, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Just type a yes in the room if you can relate to that, if that was you at some point. It was definitely me at the beginning. I can tell you a story. When I started working on one of the trading floors, I used to call out trades, and there were two top traders on those floors that were up somewhere between $2,000 and $10,000 in the first half an hour of the New York Stock Exchange open. We were trading on the New York Stock Exchange. And basically, if I called out a stock and said buy, they would go on the sell side. I was like the counter indicator. If I said buy, they'd just go sell. They just take it, sell. We wouldn't even look at it. And how did I know that? I used to walk by and I used to see the trades that I called out on the long side. They were on the short side. And they didn't obviously tell me they were doing that, but that's what they were doing. And because I was a novice trader and obviously I didn't know what I was doing. So if you can relate to that, that's great. Dennis, Walter, Pete, yeah, Louis. Okay, so that's what it's like for many beginning traders. What you need to learn about is something called supply and demand. Okay, and you need to understand when the market's going to turn and when it's going to break through. So let's go over to professional chart reading. You don't need to learn a strategy first. You need to learn how to read the market. Okay, and the only things you need are these. You need to understand pivot analysis, which is our way of reading the trend based on candlesticks alone. You don't need any indicators. You have to understand where supply and demand is, where those unfilled buy and sell orders are in the market, where the market's likely to turn, and understanding supply and demand in a deeper way to understand when the market is likely to break through those levels. And then you need to understand price direction analysis. Again, you won't find this in any book. Is which direction is price currently moving in? Is it going up or going down? How do you know that? And you can know that with a high degree of accuracy, as in it's objective, it's not subjective. Pivot analysis, objective, objective, objective. Okay? Multiple time frame analysis. How do you reconcile multiple time frames? If you're in an uptrend, for example, on the daily chart, but in a downtrend on the hourly chart, maybe when the downtrend on the hourly chart ends, or maybe where the uptrend on the daily chart continues. I can show you an example of that from the charts like now, and when we jump into the live charts. So if you are strategy based, you're doing it wrong. Okay. So you need to be market based. It's much like learning to drive a car without learning how to drive a car on the road in different road conditions. You need to understand how to read the road and then know how to drive the car correctly in different road conditions. If you just know how to drive a car and you don't understand how to drive it differently in different road conditions, well, that's leading to disaster. And that's how most people trade. If you can relate to that, just type a yes in the chat area. And this is the important thing. You don't need a guru. You don't need anyone special or proclaiming they have the Holy Grail. That does not exist. I don't believe in any of that. The charts are going to teach you what you need to know, everything you need to know. Read the quote down here. Once you have a framework for reading them. So this is the framework: pivot analysis, supply demand analysis, price direction analysis. Understanding how to do it on multiple time frames will give you a framework to read any market. You will be able to understand why every single market is doing what it's doing, what the odds are in every single situation. What we teach in our training is every single scenario a market can be in and what the odds are and what you should be doing. Every single scenario, okay? So all you need to do is identify the scenario the market's in and then what the high probability thing to be doing in that moment is. Sometimes it's nothing, okay? Let's go back to basics, okay? And I'm assuming most people here understand basic candlesticks. So this is a hammer, a shooting star. Now let me ask you this question. Is this candlestick on the left bullish or bearish? Just type in the chat area bullish or bearish on these two candlesticks. Just type them one next to the other so I can see. Okay, so type in the chat area, is this candlestick bullish? And what's this candlestick? Is this candlestick bearish or bullish? Okay, I asked this question to an audience at the New York Traders Expo, and it'll be interesting. I'll share with you shortly what they said. Okay, both candlesticks put yes, bullish, bearish. We're getting bullish, bearish. Okay, bullish, bearish. Okay, so the answer to this question is, hold on a few minutes and I'll explain. Let's look at this candlestick. Is this candlestick bearish? Okay, we're focusing on this one, the shooting star. This is an hourly chart of the dollar Swiss, the Swissy. 1 bar, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars up, and then you get a candlestick like this, bullish or bearish. Okay, so type it in the chat area. I should have done a survey for this to see how, but I didn't, so. Bullish or bearish? Okay, so let's go through this step by step. Look what happens next. Market continues moving. By the way, this is a trade that we actually took in the trading room. So the question is this bar bullish or bearish? Look what happened afterwards. Remember what I said before, once you have a framework for reading the market, you can understand what's going on here and then have a deeper insight into this scenario. So this candlestick is actually bullish and we took it long, and this is your first target area, and this is what happened. Notice, you see this candlestick, most people think down. Once you understand how to read the market correctly, you buy this and you take it to the next level. Notice this is supply, market moved down and then moved to the next level of supply. This is a bullish market. Now, let's have a look at it in terms of the three things we've just discussed. In terms of price direction, at this point, when this candlestick closes, direction is up. So that's one reason to be on the buy side. The second reason to be on the buy side is we're making high lows and high highs. There's a higher low, there's a higher high. So we've got trend on our side. Okay, so we've got direction on our side, trend on our side. Plus, this candlestick just cleared above supply. So there's no more supply there. So why should it go down? So we've cleared supply. We're pointing up when we're starting to move in an uptrend. 3 reasons why you want to be a buyer and not a seller. If you concentrate on just the candlestick alone and without understanding what's happening with price, you'll be on the sell side here and be on the wrong side of the market. So let's go into supply and demand. What is supply and demand? So everyone knows. It's very simple. Prices move higher when there's more demand than supply, and prices move lower when there's more supply than demand. So up when there's more demand than supply, down when there's more supply than demand. That doesn't mean there's more buying going on than selling. Remember, every order that goes off, if you look at the time and sales, then every order is a buy and a sell. If someone's buying, someone's on the other side as a seller. You can't have more buying going on than selling. That doesn't make any sense. You can't buy something unless someone sells it to you. What it means is there's more willing buyers at certain price levels than willing sellers. And if there's more willing buyers and they want to still buy, then once that price level is gone, and there's still willing buyers are going to have to go up to, there's no more supply at that level, the price goes up to the next level where there's willing sellers. So that's how prices move up and down in markets, and that's exactly what happens. Prices move sideways when there's equilibrium between the buy side and the sell side, between supply and demand. So let me ask you a question. What moves markets? People think it's the news. Well, I'll prove to you it's not the news that moves markets. What happens if a pharmaceutical company now comes out with a drug that's going to cure COVID-19? Be topical. What's going to happen to that pharmaceutical company's stock? It's Sunday and it's trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Guess what? Absolutely nothing, because the market's closed. So is the news moving the stock? No. It's people that are trading it. So what will happen on Monday morning when the stock opens? It will probably gap up and it may actually sell off the rest of the day. It depends if there's on this supply demand equation. So what moves markets is supply and demand. What causes supply and demand imbalances? You don't need to know that when you're trading. That's understanding why the prices are moving. And I was taught early on that why is a very dangerous question to ask when you're a discretionary trader trading intraday. Why is that happening? Good news came out, it's going down, I'm buying more, I'm buying more. It's going down, I'm buying more. It's good news, it's going to go up, and it goes down the rest of the day and you're in a massive loss. Not a good idea. And guess what? Once you can base your trading on principles that will never change, you have something that's timeless. This way of trading or reading the market is timeless. When I first started trading, I learned to trade on the New York Stock Exchange, trading the specialist system. I was learned to identify what the specialist was doing and then following on, because the specialist had information or had access to all the order flow. So if I could spot what the specialist was doing, which was what I was trained to do by watching the tape, by watching the time and sales, the level 2 and the open book, I could follow on. When he's buying or she's buying, I would be buying. When they stopped buying and started selling, I'd be on the sell side. I would just follow. But what happened when the market went hybrid, part computer, part human? That way of trading no longer worked and our trading floor closed down. So it was back to the drawing board. So wouldn't it be a good idea to learn one thing only and then apply it for the rest of your life and know that it can work in every single market condition for now until the end of time, as opposed to, you know, as opposed to learning something that's going to change with the times. You know, it's we see that happening all the time. New technology comes out and you have to start again, and certain companies disappear. If you learn this the right way, you will never need to learn anything else ever again. Okay, you just need to master this. So the next job is to identify supply and demand on the chart. If you can identify where supply and demand is on chart, you know where the market's going to turn. I'm going to show you that in the live chart shortly. And Jane's going to come on as well when I ask her to come on shortly as well. And she's going to show you how she applies that into her trading. And she trades the NASDAQ futures primarily. So supply and demand, what does it look like? Well, the market looks like this. And your job as a trader is to identify demand levels. This is where the market turns from down to up, and supply levels. Now, it's not every single time the market turns up to down or down to up is supply or demand. How do you know that? Well, I spent years putting levels on the chart and seeing what happened with the price. Remember what I said at the beginning? The markets teach you. Once you have a framework, the market's going to teach you. So spend 15 years doing this every single day for hours and hours every day. You'll become an expert at it. Or I can show you how to do it based on my experience and what works and what doesn't work. And I can actually explain to you, like I did at the beginning, the reasoning why. When you're trading and you understand the reasoning behind what you're doing, as opposed to, oh, it's a green light buy, red light sell, or you're taking signals from some signal provider and you've got no idea why they should work, and therefore you don't have the conviction to stick with it because you don't understand the system they're trading, and you know, you've got a problem if you want to be a trader. Because what happens if that signal service goes out of business? And I can tell you stories about that as well, about people that were subscribing to signal services and the business was finished, and what were they going to do next? So your job is to identify high probability turning points in the market. Again, there's a caveat here. It's recommended that you do go through our training programs to do it properly. But it also depends on how you learn. I'm also going to share with you a way that you can come and join our trading room for a whole month and at no cost at all. And if you stick with me, stick with us to the end, I'm going to share with you how you can actually take that step and come and see for yourself how we put it into practice on a day-by-day basis in the live markets. So I'm going to reveal that to you. Now we're going to jump into the live markets. Just type a yes in the room if you're ready to jump into the live markets. Okay, for those of you who are watching the recording, obviously this is a recording, but if we are at the moment, you can see over here, and this is a 1:15 p.m. Eastern time bar. Okay, so you can see this is live now where we're broadcasting. Okay, so let's take a look at the market and let's have a look at what's happening. This is a dollar index, and you can see we've got these lines drawn on. So what we're interested in areas of supply and demand. So let's look at the daily chart here. We have a supply zone because the price moved down from here. And notice what happened over here. The price moved down and turned to the upside. Okay, it's not just any turn. This is a significant turn because it broke above certain levels on the sell side. So look what happened when price comes down to this level today. We're moving in a downward moving market from the top here down here. And if you look what happened when the market hit this level on multiple time frames, we get a move up. As an intraday trader, this is your invitation to be on the buy side of the dollar or the short side maybe of the euro dollar, because the euro dollar makes the majority of the dollar index. And you can see again today, if we look on the hourly chart, this is a level of supply. Prices drop from here in a downtrend. It's a downtrend. So we move up to supply and turn and go down. There's an opportunity to sell here from here down to this level. And when it hits this level, look what happens. We bounce to the upside and break the downtrend. Let's have a look. I'm going to have a look at a few more, and then I'm going to pass over to Jane. Let's have a look at the pound. I want to show you how this works on multiple time frames as well. Okay, we've got let's focus in on the monthly chart. This is demand here on the monthly chart. Okay, let's go now down to a weekly chart. You can see this move up. This is demand. It pushed above these levels. This is a significant level here. Pushed up, made new highs. This pullback down to demand is a buy. Notice what happens over here on the lower time frame, the daily chart. Remember, the daily chart is in a downtrend here. But once we hit that weekly demand area, which is over here, the market starts to move up. And here is when the daily downtrend breaks and we move up and we start moving in an upward fashion. But today, look what happened. The market was yesterday, actually, the market sold off down to this demand area and then it rallied up back into this supply. So if we look at the intraday, we can look at what happened. Let's look on the hourly chart. You'll see this is the move down to the demand level. And then from yesterday, this is where you want to be on the long side and play it all the way back up to supply. When it hits supply, look what happens. It comes down to demand, bounces, comes down to this demand level, bounces. You know where the levels are before price even gets there. Wouldn't that be a good thing to know, to learn how to do this accurately? So, you know, look out, these lines and these levels are there before the price even gets to this level. And you can see, you will see on the bigger time frames there's other levels. Now I want to show you gold, because gold's one of the big trades that we had long term. And there's a few things, a lot to learn here. But without going into more detail, if you come and join our live trading room, we go through this every single day. We were interested in gold down here. This is demand, pushed up in a sideways moving market. Now, when this was a couple of years ago, in 2018. So down here, the price hit demand and moved to the upside. This was on the buy. We started getting interested in buying it here. But then we also got interested in buying over here. And remember talking in our trading room, this move down, we expected it. It's going to turn, and we're going to buy the turn to break above the base. This is exactly what happened. And again, at the beginning of this year, this is basing as the beginning of 2020. This was an entry on the long side up to this level from demand to supply. And now we've broken through because we're in a bullish market. And you can see basically how this is happening even intraday. Here's a move up to new highs, the pullback. This is demand. But what happened in demand? The market turned and moved to new highs, and then we came back down, and then we're getting a bit of chop around here at the moment. Okay, so you need to know where those levels are. Let's look at the stock market. And again, we'll look at the E-minis this time, and then Jane's going to focus on the NASDAQ futures. We've called every single turn in the market up and down, even before the pandemic. I use this way of trading to actually pick the top of the property market, I think it was in 2008, and got out literally the day before the thing crashed. So let's have a look and see what we can understand here. This is supply. Okay, this was a start of the market move down. Remember, we were on the long side all the way up here until, if we go down to a daily chart, I'll show you what happened. Let's go back in time. We're on the long side here. Once the market gapped down here, I said this is the start of the move down, and the end, once we broke below here, that's the end of the up move. We're going down and we're high up, so you want to be on the short side. Okay, If you didn't manage to get out, you had a chance to get in on the short side here. We also projected the move down based on this time frame on the weekly chart. We projected this move. This was the initial move. This was a bounce up, which gave you a chance to get in on the short side or get out of your longs and take it all the way down here. Now, let's watch the bottom. How do we know? We called this bottom as well, and we've called every single move on the way up as well. Now, watch this. Let's go down to a daily chart. How do you know it's the bottom? So again, it's very easy to see after it happened, but we point it out as it's happening, which is how you've got to trade. And Jane's going to share with you what she does. You know, you make your decisions as the market's playing out. You don't see what's happening on the right. So what am I seeing here when the market's coming down? So I'm thinking, you know, I'm shorting this move up, okay? It moves down and I'm shorting this all the way down. Okay, so how do I know it's the end? Not the end yet, because we're still downtrending. Okay, not the end, but we hit demand here. So this is where this is an interesting demand area and we start to move down. I'm still not interested quite yet. You could anticipate, but what happens here, once this bar goes over here, I'm now interested in buying the pullback, and this is the end of the down move already. Now watch what happens. Market moves up. I'm on the buy side now. And we went sideways here. We called every single day here, up, down, until we said it's time to go to break above the top here on this day and carry on playing all the way to the top again. And look what happens. This is not a bearish bar, it's a bullish bar. It's the same thing as we discussed earlier, because this bar clears above supply, okay? So don't sell this, this is a buy, okay? And once you understand what you're looking at, the market continues moving higher. Watch this. Higher, 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 goes sideways again, and this is now demand, so you want to buy. And every time it hits, watch what happens. Demand goes sideways a bit, but eventually we break above and we go higher. So you know how to read the market once you know how to do it, and you apply the same thing again and again, okay? Right, what I want to do now is let's get back over here. So that's a little bit, and I'm going to share with you now. We're going to go into, I'm going to bring Jane on, put my camera on again. Jane came to me at the beginning of 2018, and she's been trading now for over 2.5 years successfully. And she's going to share with you a little bit, but it took her literally 3 months to go from the beginning to consistent profits. And I'm going to bring her on now, and I'll put my camera on and say hello to Jane. Oops, let me just open that. Jane, you can switch your mic on and come on and maybe.
Yeah, hello. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Jane. Welcome.
Yeah, I put my headphones on, so it sounds a little bit better.
I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And again, this is a very rare opportunity to see one of the best traders around. Literally, I mean, she's very modest, but she's probably one of the best traders around nowadays.
I don't know. Well, thank you very much for letting me come on, Simon, and thank you for you helping me to get where I am.
Yeah, absolute pleasure.
No, well, how did my story begin? Well, before I met Simon, I got into trading. Well, if you can call it trading, I was doing binary options, and I mean that's really not got nothing to do with trading at all. It's more like gambling. But I could see that there was money to be made in the market. But then suddenly binary options got banned, so I was like kind of thinking, you know, what am I going to do now? And I came across this YouTube. I was just searching the internet one day, and I came across this YouTube channel called "Where's the Dollar Going Next?" And that's how I got in touch with Simon, because there was a link on it to get in touch with him. And well, actually, I watched his videos for quite a few weeks, and I saw that what he was predicting was just about what the market was playing out. And I thought, oh God, this is amazing. This is something completely different. And like this is like real trading as opposed to just guessing if the market's going to go up or down in the next 5 minutes like you do on binary options. So I got in touch with him, and he was really helpful and on the phone. And you know, but I said, you know, at the moment I wasn't really in a financial position to take on this training because, you know, at the time I just got through a divorce and so on. And he said, well, why not join my trading room, do a trial in a trading room? It's only like $100 or whatever it was at the time. I can't remember now. I thought, oh, well, okay. Well, since he seems quite good, let's join. So I joined his trading room, and for 2 weeks, and I was really quite amazed at what I saw. But I mean, admittedly, I work full time, so I couldn't join every day. But when I did join, the trade she was calling was really good. And what was really fascinated me was how he just knew where the market was going, and that was something completely new to me. I mean, to be quite honest, I didn't even know what a candlestick was.
You know, it's very interesting, Jane. We have someone in here now who I met at the Traders Expo in New York. Jan, he's in the he's got a PhD. He was doing postdoc, and he went through my "Where is the dollar going next" videos, and came up with how accurate they were. And I think it was something like 85 or 87%. If you would have followed them, you would have done really well. So it's funny, he's here now, and he just sent me a message. I can actually post. I'll post broadcast a comment to the room so you can actually see. Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, so maybe I'll unprivatize the chat, and then you can actually you can share. You did that research, and you went through every single one of the, well, a lot of those videos, a majority of those videos, and basically did a statistical analysis on it, which is wow. Happy to see you here, Jan. Maybe we should bring you on and you can explain what your findings were from a PhD. It was a postdoctoral kind of in one of the Ivy League universities in the US. I can't remember which one, Princeton or something.
That's amazing. But it was your "Where's the dollar going next" that how well you predicted the market was that why I got in touch with you at the beginning. And anyway, then after doing Simon's trading room, the trial room, then I spoke to Simon again and said, that I was really interested, but I just couldn't do his training because I just didn't have that sort of money to spend. And then he asked me if I'd like to do another 2 weeks I think it was the other way around. I asked him if I could do another 2 weeks because I was really interested in what he's doing. And then we had quite a few chats on Skype. And then he just said that after speaking to me, he thought that I was like genuinely interested. And he offered me the first part of his training for free, which was absolutely amazing. I mean, such an offer. I thought, well, I can't turn this down. So I did.
That was how to read the trend.
Yeah, that was how to read the trend. Yeah. And at the beginning, I looked at it, and because I didn't even know what a candlestick was, or I'd never heard of pivot analysis or anything like that. So I went through his training over and over again because it was on. You could just watch it as many times as you wanted, until I got it right. And then after I'd gone through all that, and then I thought, well, that's great watching it. I understand it now, but can I use it? Can I put it into practice? Because, it's one thing like learning a language, you can speak it, but can you actually talk to people, So it's different. So I then got a sort of a demo account, like I think you call it a paper account. I'm not really quite sure what the right word for it is, but not with real money, just practicing. And I started doing trading myself using, what I'd learned from Simon. And I found it was absolutely amazing. And I just thought, God, this is really good. Because, I mean, the best thing is that when you actually understand what you're doing, you're not just following someone else. You've got no fear at all because you just know you're right. you know your trades are going to work. And it was just, the complete fear or the gamble I had before, because before, I mean, it's just, am I going to be right? Am I going to be wrong? So it was a bit of luck really, but it was just really amazing. And you could, you weren't just jumping into the market any old place and thinking, oh, this is an uptrend, let's go on. And then you find that the market turns on you, just like Simon showed you earlier. Because I mean, that's exactly what happens if you don't know where the trend's ending or where the trend's beginning or anything like that. It was just really good. And then I went on after I'd been on a demo account for about 2 weeks, and I was seeing that my profit and loss, my P&L was going up so much. I thought, oh God, this is crazy. What am I doing on here for? So I went live, and of course, as soon as you go live, you're a little bit nervous. But after a couple of days, when I realized that if I just do exactly the same on a live account as I do on a demo account, it's going to work, and it did. And I mean, I'll say maybe the first month I wasn't making millions. No one does. But over 6 months, I built up a very large amount. I mean, I started off with quite a small account because I didn't have much money, just what I'd made from binary trading. So I started off with 10,000, and within 6 months, I would say it had gone almost 5 times to what I'd started off with, which was absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, this is just unreal. So, but then what I didn't want to do was, I mean, I still joined Simon's trading room on mainly on Sundays because I work during the week, so I can't really join him because he's in the middle of.
So if you come and join on Sundays, you can see Jane live every Sunday. You come and join the live trading room. You can ask her questions in the room.
And I follow along Simon just to see, you know, how he does the levels, and just to keep my mind active so that I don't get into bad habits, and just do what he does still. But what I really wanted to do was not just to follow someone, which is why I don't really use trading rooms, because I mean, it's all great at the beginning to use a trading room because you can learn a lot from what the other person does, because they're obviously much more experienced than you are. But it's to be able to have your own strategy. And so I worked on my own and the best time I found to work on the market is when the market's closed, which is quite funny because you can look at the charts and they're not moving, and you can just see, what's happening. And I worked out a strategy for myself, which was based on Simon's training. And I found this platform that had a market replay on it. And I just went over certain times. Well, at the beginning, I kept a journal about what time of the day the market moves and what time of the day is a good time to trade. And I found out that the best times are, which unfortunately when I'm at work, but I managed to sneak out the office sometimes.
I hope none of your bosses are watching this at the moment.
Hopefully not. Is when the market opens at 9:30 Eastern, it's the best time. And when the market closes, the last 30 minutes to 10 minutes of the market is the best time to trade. And sometimes what I've nicknamed it's the cognac time, which is when they all come back from their lunch, having had a few cognacs, so they move the market, which is like 2:30 p.m. Between 2:30 and 2:45 Eastern time. It's another good time to be in the market. But what I do is if I have a good when the market opens, if I've make nice profits, then I just stay out. I don't enter the market again, because there's no need to. Why? If you've made money for the day, why enter again? Or if I do, I go just very, very small trade, maybe end of day.
So Jane, you got to a level of consistency where you can actually pull out profits literally in like an hour or less a day. And around your job, around your day.
If you trade at a certain time. I mean, I work full time, so trading is just a hobby, really. But it's a fun hobby. It's just, for me, it's just real fun. I just love it.
And you've been able to buy, after going through a divorce or everything, you were renting, and now you were able from trading to buy your own house. That's completely
amazing. Changed my life around. And but what I did was that I watched I found out the set times of the day when the market's the most volatile, and which obviously is risky as well. But what I did before I actually traded myself, I went through market replays over and over and over again until I saw exactly what the market does, and it was amazing when you know what to look for, and how they try to, they do stop hunts and they do all their ups and downs. Like when the market opens, you just got to get in exactly at the right place at the right time, and the market just goes like a bomb. Doesn't matter which way, up or down. Sometimes I go both ways. It doesn't matter. And it's just brilliant. But, but it's not something you can just learn in 5 minutes. You have to spend a lot of time studying the market. And
I'm going to share with everyone here how they can do exactly the same training that you did and come into exactly the same trading room, so they can do exactly what you did. Remember what we said at the beginning, though, this is a framework and the market's going to teach you. So what Jane did was take that framework, studied the market, and developed a strategy that fit her personality and lifestyle. And that's the key. You can't trade someone else's strategy unless you make it your own first. What she did was take the knowledge and turn that into a strategy that worked for her around, for her lifestyle, the way that she, when she's not working, when she gets home, and she just did it. Now she actually does it on the way to work, on the way back, and sometimes at work from a phone. She's got so good at it. And she's going to share with you exactly what she does now. Who wants to see that? She's going to share with you some of the trades she did, and maybe if it works, to replay the market from yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So would anyone like to see the trades? I think on Monday, and I'll see if I can pull them up. I'll pull them up.
I'll turn the screen share off, and you can.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look.
Turn my camera off so you can take the screen completely.
All right. Okay. Let's see if this works. Right. Here we go. This was on Monday. I think this was Monday. Yeah. This was Monday. Right. So what you can see is here is where the US open like, because the trick is before the US market opens, you're always going to have a period of time between the London session. I sometimes trade London as well because I live in Europe, so it's I can trade both when I have time. But between the London session and the US session open, you always have this sort of consolidation time. And what I'm always looking for is, and of course, I have my levels of support and resistance on the charts. But I'm looking, and it's assuming it is at a resistance level, I'm waiting for this to break when the US market opens. Now, the US market opened here, right here. So I was waiting for it to break above this candle, or to be very safe would have been above this candle. But since I'm pretty aggressive trader, I got in here and took it long straight up to the next level. Like here I've got take profit 1 of 60 points. I mean, it is just crazy, the market in the moment. This is what it used to move in the whole day. Now it moves that. I think this is a 5-minute chart. I'm not quite sure now. This is a 15-minute.
15-minute chart.
Yeah, this is a 15-minute chart. Okay, so it moved up within 15 minutes, moved up here. And that was my first profit up here. And then I didn't get out there. I just took some, because I actually, because the market moves so massively at the moment, I've been trading micros lately. So I've been trading with, I think there's only 5 micros. But 5 micros for 60 points is still $600. So in a very short period of time, it's good money when it's just a hobby. And then I took 2 contracts off here, so I only had 3 running, and I was waiting for this. As long as it didn't go down more than or below this level, my stop would be always below the level here, below this level. And then I'll just ride it all the way up through the next level, and I move my stop up to that level, and then took it up. And this was my up here. I think it's actually 11,000 was my target up here. So that was like 100 points in like an hour, something like that. 100 points, $1,000, just like that, And then, of course, later on in the day, I was on my way home.
And just to mention that you're only trading a $10,000 account, and you're making an average of 10% a day, and on average over every day, which is crazy. It means she's doubling her account every 2 weeks, but drawing the profits out on a monthly basis.
Yeah. And then on the way down here, you could see price direction change here. I was just waiting. I was really hoping to get below this pivot, but when I saw this pattern here, this is my favorite pattern, where you get the red bar and you get a little sandwich in the middle, and then just below that green bar here, I went short, and then I just held it, and I just held it all the way down. And here I realized it's definitely, once it pierced through this level, but it didn't go back up again, so it's definitely going on lower. So added on here, and took it, and I just held it all. And I said, look here, milk the cow. Just took it all the way. It's like 304 points. It's the 1 to 19. It was like, I think I put the stop, 16-point stop, and 304 points.
And you also see from there so I also taught Jane how to add to a winning trade, so that you never increase your risk, but you increase your profit potential.
Yeah,
so
we went
how you do that.
About a month ago, Simon. I asked you.
About a month ago.
Yeah, about a month ago, I asked you, how do you add without doubling up your risk? Because I didn't want to add and then have 2 stops away up here or somewhere. So yeah, and then just trailed it all the way down until eventually, and you see, because I don't want to sit on a computer, and because I'm at work, I've got alerts on. Every level I have alerts on so that I get a little signal on my phone, or if I'm at home, then laptop will, I trade off a laptop. I don't have millions of monitors or anything.
Yeah, she's got one laptop and one phone. That's it. No, not multiple screens. And
yeah. So that was here. I milked the cow, and then yesterday was pretty well just a good day. This was again this way, but yesterday, of course, we had news at 8:30, so we had the consolidation before the news. But you see, it's just going up and down in between the level, and I was waiting for here. I was waiting for it to break this level to go short. But before it goes short, I wanted to have a pullback because it needs to pull back first before it's going to plummet lower. So I was just waiting for the pullback, and the pullback came, which is why I got my little smiling face here. I was so happy I got the pullback, and here entered short. This was, there must have been some news or something, but I don't really follow news. I just look at the charts. But if this happens at 8:30 in the morning, before the market opens, there is something going on. And of course, rode this all the way down, and then I trailed out here. I locked in at this level because this candle was alerted my attention that, you know, it's indecisive. Is it going to go up? Is it going to get down? Locked in here, and then I actually tightened up my stop and got taken out down here at this level here. And then this was where the US Open. It opened. That was another reason why I trailed out, because the US Open was coming. And on the Open, I was expecting it to go up. And the reason why, not just because it had dropped so much, but because the close the day before was around about the 602, 603 level. I think it was way up here. And the close of the previous day often, or like 99% of the time, is a magnet. The price will always get back, if not all the way, part of the way back to the closing price of the day before. So as soon as the market opened here, I was just waiting to see, now, is it going to continue? Is it going to break down through this level? Or is it going to go up to the close? And I waited till it broke this level here. And this, you can see here long, I went in here long, and I just rode it up level by level. But on this level, I was a bit, because of this here, the choppiness we'd had here, I was a bit careful here. This is actually a 5-minute chart. This is much, so basically in 5 minutes, it went from 10,500 to 10,100 points in 5 minutes. I mean, this is crazy. And then, but I didn't get out here because my stop was just below this level. I stayed in, and I was waiting for it to really get back to where it started from, and to get back to the closing price from the day before. And it actually went through it. And then I jumped out up here. But then, because it was failed to go higher, it wasn't going any higher, I decided, right, I'm going to put a stop in up here. And as soon as it breaks this level, I'm going short. So I went in again. It says here, in short. I went in short, down level by level, took it down. And then down here, it was getting pretty choppy, because this was, I mean, I just knew that when this level breaks, it will go really fast down to the 400. The 400 is like a psycho level. Psycho levels are, for me, old levels like 400, 300, 500, where you really have to expect a bounce. So, and that's why I got out. I got out down at the 400 level, down here. And that was, I mean, I could have gone long till the end of the day, but I thought, well, I've had 3 really good trades. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Excellent, excellent, Jane. And this is what she does every single day consistently. The same thing every single day, but you need to know where the levels are and how to get in and out. I think what we'll do is we'll carry on with to share with you how you can take the next step, and maybe if we've got time at the end, or maybe we'll do it another time, we'll go through the replay of the market. What do you think, Jane?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. Yeah,
we can replay the day, and you can see how Jane actually took the trades and what she was watching. She went through with you now, but she can replay it again, so it looks like she was actually doing it for real. Okay, so let's take you the next stage. So let's pull this back on.
Thanks.
And if you could just stick around in the background, Jane. And
I'll
just turn this off again.
So turn the camera off. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah. Okay, so that's Jane, and this is what Jane wrote me. And again, you can read it, but I'm going to read it because it's one of the nicest things to read, and the point is to show you what Jane did. So all I can say to anyone who wants to consistently profit, just do it. That training turned my whole trading around. From that day on, my trading has become so consistent, it's really mind-blowing. Once you understand the levels and can read the trend, you will beat the market every single day. However, the key is follow your pivot analysis, use the supply demand levels, and adapt it to your own trading style. Be very disciplined, don't be greedy, stop when you've made your daily profit, and you will turn losing trades into winning consistently day in and out. Simon's trading can be adapted to any market. I mainly trade NASDAQ futures and oil, but mostly NASDAQ futures now. I use my own strategy based on Simon's education, which is what Jane told you before. I found the best thing was knowing what you were doing gives you the confidence in your trades, and the fear of losing was gone. Trading had become a lifestyle, no longer a binary gamble or a nervous hope job. Believe me, it's the best and only training to succeed with. So there's one success story. I'm going to share with you how to take the next steps. You can do exactly what Jane has done, and Jane's a regular person just like you, and you can do the same, but there is a process, there is a way to do it. You have to go through the training, you have to learn how to do it, you have to go through the training and pick it up and then apply it. So now you've seen a simple and powerful approach to reading the market, and you've seen it in practice as well. And hopefully we have time at the end when we will show you, or maybe on another time, we'll get back together again and show you it in real time. Take it a step further and learn how to read the trend using pivot analysis. And what are the benefits of knowing how to read the trend? Well, you'll trade in the direction of the trend. Your trend is your friend. Most people miss the last part of it until the bend in the end. That's where supply and demand. When the trend meets supply and demand is usually where the trend comes to an end. You'll know exactly when the trend begins and exactly when it ends. And make sure that you're never fighting the trend. Make sure the trend that you're on the right side of the market. And you'll be able to develop a profitable trading strategy, just like many people have done. And many people in our trading, we all trade different strategies within the same framework of reading the market. That's the key. We have a framework to read the market. We all read the market within the same framework. Myself, Jane, Mike, and everyone else in the trading room. And David, other successful, Benji, other successful traders. Or you can enhance an existing trading strategy. So what I'm going to do is invite you to join my How to Read the Trend training session plus trading room. And this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to identify the current trend of the market, analyze the trend in multiple time frames, exactly when a trend begins, exactly when a trend ends, and how this knowledge will dramatically affect your bottom line. How about just trading once and for all, knowing exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it? And by watching us also in the live trading, you'll watch us analyze and trade the live markets in real time every single day. Okay, how we prepare to trade. So let me share with you what some people are saying. Tom, I wanted to say, I think what you teach in How to Read the Trend training course is brilliant. Before that, I had picked up bits and pieces from different traders, but it was never joined up. Your course brought it all together in a very structured and algorithmic way. No guessing needed. The facts jump off the chart. You are a mastermind. Matt, the trading room is very helpful in understanding how to go through the process. I've been trading for 11 years. And have not seen anything like what you do. Love how simple it is. I mainly trade options with trades that last 30 to 60 days. I've been looking for something I could use to day trade for 2 years now. I want to round out what I'm doing with another source of profits. I've not been able to find anything I could execute consistently. I'm just paper trading with your system. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I've had far better results than anything I have ever tried. Assuming this continues, I will take it live sometime in late March. He's already trading live. Okay, this was what he wrote back then. Danny, I've really enjoyed the training. It's been amazing. I'm trying to implement what has been conveyed. I see it has real impact on seeing the turning points in the market. Simon's probably one of the best coaches out there with a heartfelt passion for coaching and a real understanding of how the market works. He helps you view everything in a new way. The way he teaches is also really good, and he goes through it until you understand. I can honestly say that I've gotten more out of this training than I expected. Thanks a lot, Simon. So this, again, what you're going to get in the training. It's over 1.5 hours. It's not that long. And you'll learn it's usually $397. And after this session, we're probably going to be putting it up. It's not going to be this price ever again. And I said that when we used to sell it for less, and you will see. Okay, so this is a chance to get in at this price, and you'll see what else we're offering. It's on demand. The training session has no limits. You can watch it as many times as you want until you get it. And I do recommend you watch it more than once and take notes. What you think it's saying And what it actually is saying may be two different things if you listen to it again. You may think it's speaking on a level that you may understand up to now, but it's subtly different. And you will see the differences in how it affects you reading the market and understanding what's going on when you actually see it in practice and actually start to do it in the live market and can do it for yourself. There's the proof of it. You'll get personal access to me, and you can email any follow-up questions after the session is concluded. But you can, this is the big thing, you can come and join our live trading room for 1 month. That usually costs $497 a month. Yes, it does. I know it's, it's worth way more than that once you can actually make a nice living from your trading in a short amount of time every day. You need to learn how to do it. So this is what the offer is. The regular price of both the live trading room and how to read the trend is $894. I'm going to pop the offer up and I'm going to take you through it quickly so you can see what it is. Okay, so I'm going to start. You see it. I'm publishing it on the side. And again, we're probably going to offer like maybe 10 people in and 10 people into the trading room. So if you're interested, click on the buy now. You'll see it pop up. And if you're watching the replay, click on the button below. And yeah, okay, so the deadline is Friday, July the 17th at midnight. You're going to get $497 off and get it only for $397. So basically $397 instead of $894. And here is the checkout as well. You can go to this URL or just click on the link. URL tradesmartforex.com/promo. Okay, and that's what you need to do. And let me share with you, and I'm going to share with you the whole checkout. So again, just very quickly before I show you the checkout, if you join now, how to read the trend is $397, 1 month in the live trading, $497. The total is $894. You pay today $397. Come and join us tomorrow in the live trading room. Again, if trading something you want to do, it's one of the few jobs in the world that's actually scalable. You can scale up. Once you know what you're doing, you should start small until you know what you're doing. And then you can actually make more money without committing more time just by scaling up. Okay, it's one of the few jobs in the world that you can do that. Most other jobs has a limit, especially if you're charging out for your time. There's only a certain amount of time in the day. And once you reach that, that's it. And there's only a limit to what you can actually charge. Yeah, if you're a lawyer or a doctor or anything like that, there's no limit to what you can earn as a trader. The limit is how good you are. Okay, and that's the key. So what I'm going to do is show you the checkout process, and then we'll open up for questions. If we have time, then we will bring Jane back on, and we'll go through a replay of the market from yesterday, and she'll show you exactly we'll speed it up so you can go through it in real time. Okay, so let me share with you this. Okay, so this is the checkout process. You basically come to this page and you click buy now. Okay, it will bring you to the checkout here. Now, I want to make this very clear. Over here, it says how to read the trend plus trading room. This is going to bring you into a subscription to the trading room, which is $497 monthly. But today you only pay $397, and you can cancel the subscription at any time. You don't want to stay in. What you should do is put a reminder in your calendar, at the end of the month to cancel it if you don't want to continue, but you probably will want to continue at least for probably 2 or 3 months. The average time in the room is probably around 3 months, and then most people have learned what they need. Other people stay in the room because they like the camaraderie and being with other traders. We also have we're building a community of traders that can be in contact with each other 24 hours around the clock, 7 days a week, whenever you want. Okay, we have that as well. So you can come and join that and fill in all your details. And it's only $397. Click submit, and that's it. What will happen is you'll get an email sent to you with a username and password. I'm going to show you how to get into the members area. So the members area, you can get in through here, or it will give you a link in the email, but you can always go in through this member button or from here, members. You click on that and it brings you to the membership portal. Now you see there's 3 different sections. This is not available. This is at the moment, we're starting something new. And this will be available to the general public soon, but we're running our first kind of beta test on this really tomorrow, which is very interesting, our first Traders Peak Performance Mastermind. And again, more about that once we release it to the general public. We have a very small group of people that were handpicked to come through this. So ignore this for now. Education and training, everything to do with how to read the trend is in here, and it's a session 1 of how to read the market professionally. Okay, so you click in here and go into the training, and everything to do with the trading room is here. So let me show you. If you click on there, it will bring you to this area. Now, you can get access to how to read the trend by clicking here, or you can go here. Now, you won't see anything that you don't have access to. So you just get how to read the trend to start with. So you click on there, and it'll bring you through the training. It's a standalone training, which happens to be session 1 of how to read the market professionally. This is what Jane did, okay? And you can also see we've got other part of the training, which is on the business side of it, how to run a trading business. But this is the important part. Now, let me take you into the trading room. Trading room, you come to this portal, and there's 3 sections. There's the live trading room, there's the daily trading session, and the weekly preparation session, which is actually a standalone subscription, okay? So what happens over here is that if you want to watch the weekly preparation session, you can come and join live if you're part for the whole month. And we have a recording of the session where we have a game plan. We actually put all our supply and demand zones on the markets. You can actually, on the markets that we trade. And we have the previous week and the current week. So you can go back and compare and use this as to help you trade before you even understand how to do it. And then eventually you'll learn how to do it yourself. And then you can compare what we did and then go and see what happens in the market live and see if it works or not, okay? And you'll find that it does work. What we do works consistently week in and week out. And it's been working for years, okay? The daily trading sessions are recorded as well. And we post our last session over here. If you can't make it live, you can watch the recording. You can see everything we did, all the thought that went in, all the planning for the trade and the trades that we actually took live, or trades that we may happen to be in beforehand, or long-term trades that we're holding, and we'll talk about them and how we're managing them. And the live trading room, you come in here and you can see the schedule. So you can come and join us. This is not updated. I must have forgotten to do that this week, but basically our next session is tomorrow, the 16th of July at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Come and join us live. You register here, you click in, and then at the time of the session, just come into this area and click here to enter the room. You come in, you immediately come into the room, and you'll be joined with other traders as well. So that's the key, okay? And that's basically it. So if anyone has any questions, so again, join now. It's how to read the trend. It's $397. This is probably the last time it's going to be at that price. We're going to be putting up to $497. And in 1 month in the live trading room is $497, which is $894 right now. You only pay $397. Come and join us live. Go through the training. It's exactly the same training that Jane did, and learn how to put it into practice yourself. Come and see how we do it. And what we're going to do now is open up for any questions that you may have, and you can point the questions to myself or Jane. Let me have a look. We've got us here, and 1 second. Let's look at the chat and see if there are any questions. You can basically answer any of us. Jan is saying, every person I meet, I recommend your course. Most people are clueless and too cheap, but they don't know there are people like you who are no BS and know what works. Thanks, Jan. And Jan's got a PhD and he went through as I said before, he went through almost every single one of my videos. Thanks, Jan. I explained the $397 a month. It's not $397 a month. It's just $397 today. The live trading room subscription is $497 a month, but you can cancel that subscription towards the end of the month or before you get billed again if you don't want to pay another, if you don't want to be on, and just come for the, so basically it's just $397, and set yourself a reminder in your calendar if you don't want to carry on. And that's it basically. And there are other subscriptions to the live trading room. There's people that come in on a yearly basis, and if you do that on a year basis, it's half the price pretty much. And you can come in on a quarterly basis, but come in for 1 month. Again, what have you got to lose? Nothing. Okay, $397, you're going to learn something that you won't find anywhere else. And I've said that before, and funny enough, I checked this out when I first put the course out. There isn't anything else, it may look similar, but it's not. Okay, there's nothing that goes into the same detail that this does. Exactly, so you know exactly when a trend begins and ends. So I have to sign up for the trading room as well. No, you don't. All you need to do is sign up here, and you're automatically going to come into the trading room for 1 month. It's automatic. And you can come and join us, Christopher, tomorrow, okay? Let's have a look. What times do you trade? So let's have a look. So let's go into the live. Let's go over here. And you'll see if we go back, let's actually go back. If you go over here to live trading room, try and stop this. And the times are over here. We're basically Sunday. We've actually moved the time now to 4 a.m. Eastern time, and it's recorded. All sessions are recorded. And Monday to Thursday we're at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, usually for about an hour. Okay, you don't want to be doing it for longer than that. Hey Kevin, I too agree with Jan. You will never regret what you learn. That's true. Daniel, your demand and supply are similar to those. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I never did his course. Supply and demand is nothing new. I didn't invent supply and demand. Can I go back any time to? You can go back anytime. Once you've got access to the training, you've got access to the training for however long as you want to go through it.
Simon, do you want me to answer a question?
Yeah. Do we have any questions for you? Yeah, you can. Let's do.
I think someone asking what time I trade. I trade the US Open. That's 9. Well, I look what's going on at 8:30 because sometimes there's a movement at 8:30. But normally I don't trade until 9:30 Eastern, and I'm normally done and dusted by 10 o'clock within half an hour. Normally, but you get the other days when it's not brilliant, you know, like sometimes the market's calibrating so long, it takes longer to play out. And then, but after, if nothing happens by 10:15, I'm gone because I'm working, you know, it's a full-time job. I can't be watching the charts all day long. And then I look again when I get home in the evening at what I call the cognac time, which is like 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's 8:30 my time. Between 8:30, 8:40, there's normally a movement in the market. Not always. And then, of course, my second favorite time, apart from the open, is the close. The last half hour of the day is pretty good. And it's not quite so whippy as the beginning. It tends to, except for exactly at 10 to 4 Eastern time, the algos come out. So I usually trade the algos because I can just read the market and I can see what they're going to do. But that takes practice. So don't just think you can do it. Watch 100 replays first.
Let's see if we have any more questions. Yeah, thanks, Jane. Jane's only trading Nasdaq futures. Yeah, that's to Jane. Yeah.
Yeah, I trade basically the Nasdaq. I mean, I do watch what the ES is doing, and I watch what YM's doing. You know, just to see. Because also, if they're all going different directions at the beginning, it's not a good idea to get in the trade. You want them all going the same way.
Yeah, Christopher, welcome. And everyone else who's joined now, welcome. We'll see you tomorrow live in the trading room. And you can go already now and watch today's session if you want and go through the training. So do join. This is an opportunity of a lifetime again. Anna's saying Jane is a fantastic trader. Hey, Leanne, do you mainly use 5 and 15-minute charts? That's for you. That's for you, Jane.
Where's the question?
Do you mainly use 5 and 15-minute charts?
Well, I use I scale down. I start off when I first open up the charts. I look at the hour to see the direction of the day or the morning. If I haven't been in the charts in the morning, so I can sort of see what's been going on. And then I get down. Then I get down to the 15-minute to get this kind of range. And then, but I trade at the moment because the market's so volatile. I trade off the 5-minute. I used to trade off the 2 minutes, and sometimes when there wasn't such huge moves in the market, I traded off the 1 minute. But then I wasn't trading with micros in those days. I was using full contracts because it was fine. But now, since the market's been so volatile, I've moved to micros, which I find is brilliant because I stay in trades much longer. Because even if the market goes against you slightly, you're not seeing thousands of dollars going in the red. It's brilliant. It's really good. And I mean, look at the money you can make on micros. It's just unreal because the moves are so big.
That's a question from Pete. I'm doing Forex. This is, I trade Forex primarily. Pete, it works on every market. Okay. I used to be an equity trader. I've traded everything and can trade anything and everything. Once you've got a chart, you can trade everything. You just need to learn the nuances of every market. Supply and demand is the same, and the way you read the market is exactly the same. It's just learning the market movement, okay, the nuances of each market, and understanding the pricing of it and how it moves and position sizing and everything else like that. Apart from that, it's all the same. So yeah, I primarily trade in the trading room. We look at the futures, we look at Forex, the spot pairs, and we look at the general futures. We look at gold, we look at E-minis, Nasdaq, gold, oil. We also look at Bitcoin futures as well.
Oh, hi, Anna. Thank you.
Daniel, do I trade FX on MetaTrader 4? Yeah, one of the platforms I use. I use a number of platforms. I have a number of accounts. So yeah. Okay. I think we're kind of running out of time. Maybe we should do the live trading kind of demonstration in another webinar. What do you think? I think we should do that. So what I want to do, I know you prepared for that, Jay. Maybe we should do it now. What do you think? People tired? I think so. We'll do it another time.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, if you have any more questions, feel free. You can send us an email. Click on the link. Come and join us. It looks like all the offer's gone, but it's not. It's still open. You can do it. We'll let more people in. You can use any platform you want, Lester. He's asking, can I use NinjaTrader? You can use any platform you want. It works on any market. It's timeless. You learn one thing, you become an expert at it. You find a strategy that works for you. You develop it yourself. Okay, that's the key, within the framework. And then you just go and do the same thing every day and become an expert at it, just like you saw Joan do. She's got her niche in the market and she just does the same thing every single day and became very good at it.
And that's why I mainly trade the Nasdaq, because you just know how that particular asset's going to move. And I think it's easier if you don't have that much time. I think it's easier to concentrate on one, because you just know how it's going to react to certain things going on. And yeah, it's really good. And I know the levels in my head. I don't really need to have lines on my chart because it's really good. Yeah.
Okay, Jane, thank you so much for joining us, and I want to thank everyone here for attending. I hope you found this useful, and you can see there is a way to master the markets and really get to that level. If you do it the right way, it doesn't take that long. Okay, people think it does. It took me many years at the beginning, but once you know the right way and you can pass that information or that knowledge on to the next generation of traders, it's much quicker. Assuming you don't have any bad habits picked up from other ways of doing things, maybe the incorrect way or things like that. It's much easier to train someone straight from scratch. So people always ask, if I don't have any experience, it's best not to have any experience. Learn it the right way from the beginning, start the right way. It's much easier to succeed if you do that and then develop a system that works for you. That's really the key. Thanks, Leanne. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. And I wanted to just put that back up again. I have a YouTube channel, and let's just, I've clicked the wrong thing here. Let's put this back up. And you can join my YouTube channel. You can get that from my website as well, and go watch some videos there on my website. There's also some educational videos. Go watch them. Educate yourself. Come and join us if this is for you. It's not for everyone. If it's for you and you want to get the best training out there on price action trading, then go for it. And we'll look forward to welcoming you tomorrow morning in our live trading room or whenever you join. And we wish you the best of luck with your trading career and trading journey. And we're here to help if you want to take the next step. So thanks a lot, everyone. And thanks so much, Jane, for coming and sharing with us and spending your valuable time with us as well. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. And to see how someone who went through the training, put it into practice, and has become successful with it on a consistent basis. And again, it's an inspiration to everyone to show people out there what's possible, what can be done. Most people don't believe it, but Jane's a proof. And there are other traders like Jane as well. She's not the only one, but not everyone's willing to come and share. So thank you, Jane, for sharing with us. And Jan, it's great to see you again. And we should touch base. Send me a message on Skype. I'd love to catch up with you. And thanks a lot, everyone, for your time. And we look forward to helping you on your trading journey. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.